Good morning. Good morning. Fathers and daughters. This is Ephraim B. Martin, and it is another live stream. Welcome, Saturday. All fathers are welcome, regardless of your ethnic group, culture, and or background. Bienvenidos. Mi amigos. Gracias. Appreciate you all. Welcome you back to another powerful live stream. Today, fathers, what are we going to be covering? We are going to be talking about keeping our daughters off of the pole. Part 2. Excuse me. This is my second video on keeping our daughters off of the pole, fathers. And the reason we're going to be talking about that is because if we are the fathers of baby girls, our daughters will be subject to the pole. And what pole am I referring to, fathers? I am referring to gentlemen's clubs, in particular, stripper clubs, exotic clubs, or whatever name you want to give them today. Those are the clubs I'm talking about with our baby girls. Now, fathers, one of the things we have to take 100% responsibility for when it comes to our baby girls is them not ending up on the pole. That is 100% on us, not their mothers. 100% on the fathers if our baby girls end up on the pole. There's no way around it, fathers. And we have to put in a lot of work for our baby girls in order for them not to end up on the pole. Birth to 18, right? If they end up on the pole once they leave our household, 100% on us, that's not their mothers. I want to repeat that, not their mothers, right? So fathers, I participate in men's groups, online and in person, and I work with a lot of fathers, all fathers from all ethnic backgrounds, cultures, and religions. And I get a lot of pushback from fathers when we're speaking about how our daughters end up on the pole and the reasons for them ending up on the pole. Now, it's very interesting, depending on what fathers you're talking to regarding our daughters ending up on the pole. For me, it's not an argument. It's not a situation to where I'm trying to tell fathers I know it all and I know what's best for them. And I know the best situations for our daughters not to end up on the pole. But what I draw from is the fact that I have raised 4 adult daughters, 36, 30, 26, and 24. They're all amazing women. And also, I did work in the criminal justice system for 20 years and K-12 education for 10 years. So I use my professional experience as well as my life experience to come up with why I know fathers are 100% responsible for our daughters ending up on the pole. And being a former state of Colorado juvenile probation officer, I have to draw from that. I have to draw from my experiences of working directly with baby girls. And I had supervised all children. I was a state juvenile probation officer with the juvenile division in Jefferson County, 1st Judicial District, Jefferson County, Colorado, located in Golden, Colorado. And the little girls that I supervised that ended up on the pole had daddy issues, had father issues, had fathers that weren't in their lives. And that was the difference between them ending up on the pole and not ending up on the pole. Now, pushback I get from fathers. What about those fathers that have been in their daughters' lives from birth to 18 and were in the household and may come from a spiritual background or biblical teaching, which is great. We need biblical teaching. We need spiritual connection with all of our daughters. We do. They need that guidance. I don't have a problem with any pastor raising their daughter in their faith. I think that's one of the best ways to keep our daughters off the pole. But they too can end up on the pole. And if they do end up on the pole and you happen to be a pastor, it's your fault. And you will have to take a look at what happened in those first 18 years to where your daughter felt it was necessary to gravitate to the pole. Now, fathers, I'm going to be sharing 5 great videos with you today. This is going to be a longer live stream, probably about an hour and 15 to hour and 30 minutes, maybe longer, because we have to get through this. In the description, I have shared all the videos that I'm going to be using today for education and instruction and information, right? That's what Grow That YouTube channel is all about, fathers. I'm all about education. I'm all about information. I'm all about instruction. And I want to see all fathers have successful relationships with their baby girls, right? So when I'm doing my research on my live streams, what I am looking for is what is going to make the most impact on fathers to help them understand our sense of urgency. That's what I do when I research these videos. I do not research videos and pick them according to my likes. I research videos and share them with fathers according to what I think will make the best impact on fathers, to help fathers understand our sense of urgency, because we have a sense of urgency, fathers. And if we are not consistent in our daughters' lives, if we are not available to our daughters, birth to 18 years of age, we will lose them. It is that simple. The criminal justice system is waiting for all of our daughters. The pole is a part of the criminal justice system. Okay? And as you will see with these videos I'm going to be sharing, it's a very interesting dynamic between the criminal justice system and how our daughters end up on the pole. I can tell you some of the young ladies that I supervised, not all, but quite a few of the young ladies I supervised on probation were very forthcoming in letting me know they would end up on the pole because of their father issues and their fathers not being in their lives. So fathers, I'm telling you right now, if you're not a part of your daughter's life, if you're not a part of that decision-making, that guidance, that leadership, birth to 18 years old, and she ends up on the pole, you get to blame yourself. You got to own it, fathers. Okay? We're not getting out of this one. We are not getting out of this one. If our daughters end up on the pole, 100% on the fathers. So, with that being said, fathers, I'd like to get into these videos. And they're great videos. Like I said, the research that I do for my live streams, I enjoy the research. YouTube has an abundance of everything. If you can't find it on YouTube, it can't be found. That's it. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful for YouTube because it makes my research a lot easier. I'm a legal researcher by nature because of my background of working in the criminal justice system. I love to research. Research is just, it comes natural for me. So if it's out there, I'll get it. All right, fathers. So I welcome you all. Thank you for participating and being part of. Feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe, like, share my videos with whomever, wherever. Feel free to do reaction videos. Doesn't bother me at all. If you feel like you want to do a reaction video of what I'm doing, feel free, fathers. The only thing I ask, if you do a reaction video, make sure you come with solutions, though. Because Grow That YouTube channel is all about solutions, not about problems. Not about blame over here. We're about solutions. We're about helping fathers become better and having a clearer understanding of our sense of urgency for our baby girls. Okay, fathers, with that being said, let's take a look at this first video.
Welcome to Rick's Cabaret and Steakhouse, New York City's #1 gentlemen's club, featuring over 100 of the world's most beautiful entertainers daily. For men who have style, for men who have class, and for men who want it all. We keep the party going non-stop, where every guest who visits Rick's Cabaret is treated with VIP status. Come enjoy an exceptional steak or scrumptious burger in Rick's Cabaret's much-acclaimed gourmet steakhouse. Spanning 4 levels of entertainment, Rick's creates a fresh new atmosphere on each floor. Experience a more intimate setting and true New York luxury in one of our famed VIP suites. We will treat you like a king. Visit the smoking deck and garden, which has the most incredible views of the Empire State Building. Enjoy a fine cigar while you relax under the stars. Rick's Cabaret, New York City's ultimate experience in adult entertainment.
Okay, fathers, introduction to gentlemen's clubs. What are your thoughts? Fathers, I would love to hear your comments today. I really, really would. Would love to read them. So, fathers, this is what's waiting for our baby girls. Gentlemen's club, right? And when you look at that video, you see how they, sex sells, fathers. We know this. We're men. Sex sells. I want to give you an example. I love using examples of my life experiences and personal experiences during my live streams, if I can. So I'm a 21-year-old Marine traveling overseas for the very, very first time. I end up going to Okinawa, Japan first. And then from Okinawa, Japan, I end up going to the Philippines before I got to my duty station. Now, when I went overseas in 1987, I was stationed on an island called Diego Garcia. It's in the middle of the Indian Ocean, directly down from India. You could Google it. It's called Diego Garcia. I was stationed at the Marine Barracks. I was a paralegal. So I was the only paralegal on the island. But I was a paralegal in the United States Marine Corps. So I was stationed there. We were the first Marine barracks deployed to Diego Garcia in the middle of the Indian Ocean. It's called BIOT, British Indian Ocean Territories. Belongs to, or used to belong to the British, but it went back to China, I believe in early 2000, somewhere around there. Anyway, I'm this young 21-year-old Marine. So before I get to my duty station, I have a couple stops. Okinawa was one of them. Spent a week there. And then I went to the Philippines. So I ended up at Clark Air Base. We used to have a base there, the military. It was a Air Force base, Clark Air Base, before it got shut down because of it got shut down because, I just lost my train of thought. It got shut down because of the volcano. So it was in Angeles, the province was Angeles Province in the Philippines. And I'm at this Air Force base, Clark Air Base. So we're debriefed and they tell us about, what to be aware of before we go outside the base. I'm 21 years of age. So we go outside the base and, start to see all these beautiful young women, Filipino women. And most Asian women are very, very petite, very small, very petite in stature. Average Asian woman I've come across in my life is probably anywhere between weight-wise 90 to about 105 pounds, right? So go to the GI bars. And one thing I noticed as a 21-year-old is the GI bars I was going into, there were no Filipino man or Asian man in these bars. And it just kind of struck me back. Now, I had spoken to a lot of different military men prior to going overseas. And the Philippines is referred to as the PI. For those of us that are in the military, it's referred to as the PI. So I'm 21 years of age. I'm in these GI bars, hopping around. And one of the things I noticed is when I went into these bars, that these girls look young. They were young looking. And it's like, I don't think these girls are legal. How are they in here? So start talking to a lot of the women that are in the bars, because they do have actual grown women in there, but they have young girls in there that were under 18. So you start talking and you start getting information. And one of the things that was shared with me as a 21-year-old Marine is speaking to some of these girls, their families had sent them to these bars to work, to keep money in the family. Now that's a cultural thing, right? So I can't pass judgment on it. That's a cultural thing. But it was crazy to me to be 21 years of age and to see these underage girls in a bar dancing in front of grown-ass men, taking off their clothes, making money, right, for military men. And that left an impression on me. Lo and behold, I was unaware I was going to be blessed with 4 baby girls. God blessed me with 4 daughters, right? So that left an impression on me that has never left me. And, when I had my first daughter, and then my second daughter, my third daughter, my fourth daughter, it just dawned on me, I have a responsibility as their father to ensure that they don't end up in a club taking off their clothes in front of strangers like these young girls were taking off their clothes in front of me. And I was 21 years of age, so I was a young guy. I was 21, getting ready to turn 22. And I just remember it so vividly. And it shook me as I was having my daughters, because it stuck in my mind how these young girls underage were dancing in front of grown-ass men. And not my daughters. I was going to make damn sure my daughters are not ending up on the pole. That is not an option for the Martin girls. It is not going to happen. So just want to share that with you, fathers, because that's an experience, a personal experience I had. It shook me at 21 years of age, being overseas in the military. In every Asian country I went to, it was pretty much the same thing in these GI bars. Military men, underage girls. And it was just crazy. And a lot of these military men were taking these young underage girls and taking them home and sleeping with them and having sex with them and abusing them and taking advantage of them because they could. And they knew better, but they did it, right? And it's just my moral compass has never allowed me, and my ethics there's just lines you never cross, ever. I don't do politics, so I don't cross those lines. But my moral compass, my moral human compass, my ethics, there's just lines I will never cross as a human being. You just don't do it. Because there's a scripture in the Bible that talks about whatever you do in darkness, God will bring it to light. And the best thing about that scripture is it applies to all human beings. So you could think that you're getting away with something in the darkness, but when God reveals it eventually, you're going to have to need his mercy. Because when he reveals what you did in the closet, in the darkness to the world, you can't explain it. And the best thing, like I said, about that biblical scripture, that applies to all human beings. So we're all subject to it. That's a beautiful thing. So whatever we do in darkness, fathers, God's going to bring it to light. I promise you he's going to bring it to light. And we're not going to get the lie and try to cover it up if we've been out there doing some foolishness and some nonsense. Okay? So fathers, we have a great responsibility to our daughters to ensure it is on us that they don't end up on the pole. Point blank, period, fathers. 100% on us, not their mothers. Because guess what mothers are going to do? Mothers are going to introduce them to makeup. Nothing you can do about it, father. Mothers are going to introduce them to lingerie. Nothing you can do about that, fathers. Mothers are going to do it. I'm telling you, mothers are going to do it. So that is the battle you're going to have with the mothers. You're going to have that battle. Every father's going to have to deal with that. So whether you're married or divorced, we are going to have to deal with those two things that mothers are going to do with their daughters. They're going to do it, I promise you. All right, fathers. Let's take a look at video number 2. Okay, fathers, what are your thoughts? Video number 2. Obviously, that's Las Vegas, Nevada. And I don't believe in reinventing the wheel. When I do the research on the videos and they're available, I'm going to show them in there entirely. And you can see, fathers, this is what's waiting for our daughters. This is what's waiting for them when they turn 18 years of age. The pole, the gentlemen's clubs are waiting for our daughters. So fathers, my hope is when you see the videos that I'm sharing through education, information, and instruction, is that they make an impact. Help you understand our sense of urgency. Because we got a lot of work. We got to put in birth to 18. We got a lot of work. As you can see, this is easy money for a lot of women. This is very easy money. And so many of our daughters are going to be tempted to make that easy money if things are not going well at home with their fathers. If they don't have a father in their life, if they didn't have their uncles, if they didn't have male first cousins protecting them, guiding them, explaining how men are going to treat them. Not all men, but we have to keep it real. A lot of men that are out there, they're horrible human beings, and they're waiting for them. And they can't wait to go to these gentlemen's clubs and try to exploit our daughters, take advantage of our daughters, hurt our daughters, have sex with our daughters, take advantage of them. See, at Grow Dad YouTube channel, we're going to talk about the real. My professional experience in the criminal justice system, in K-12 education, I can't come at you any other way, fathers. Ain't no make-believe going on over here. What we're dealing with at Grow Dad YouTube channel is the real deal. What can happen if we are not a part of our daughters' lives? That's just how I get down. I'm not hiding anything. I'm going to share it. Because all fathers need to be on deck. In order for our daughters to be protected and safe, we have to be a part of their decision making. We have to be a part of their life, fathers. That's just the way it is. It falls on us. We are our daughter's first love. We are. So depending on how that first love is taken by our daughters will determine how most of them are going to turn out. So the one thing I tell fathers, don't play with this. Don't even play with this. If you're out there ripping and running and acting a fool, whatever you do, I've already said, whatever you do in darkness, God's going to bring it to light. Okay? He will definitely bring it to light. And you don't want what you've done in your life. How you've taken advantage of women. How you disrespected women to come up on your daughters. Because it's not going to be good. It will not turn out good, and it will not be good for them. Okay, fathers. One of the things, I watched that video 3 separate times, and every time I walked away with one consistent thing. This young lady's need for validation. That's what I walked away with consistently. And the reason I say validation is if you listen to her explain how she's an introvert, having to become an extrovert, right? Look at that transition she's putting herself through, or had to put herself through in order to feel validated by men, right? So I've already explained in a couple other videos. I have a video called Embracing Our Daughter's Puberty. And I've spoken about our daughter's puberty. And fathers, we have to explain our daughter's puberty. We have to explain to our daughters about their bodies changing, what's going to happen through puberty. Because if you don't, see, other men will. And this is a problem, fathers. We have to go so far beyond our daughters, making sure they understand that their bodies are their temples. Point blank, period. Their bodies are their temples. They're not to take their clothes off in front of strangers. They are not. They're not to be dancing in front of strangers and doing all this stuff in front of strangers. So the psychology behind this, think about it, fathers. I mean, you're hearing from a young woman herself. I don't need to add any commentary to what she's talking about. There's nothing to add. This is what it is. So if you don't think we're 100% responsible for our daughters ending up on the pole, you're sadly mistaken. I can guarantee you, if we had an interview with this young woman, we asked her about her father-daughter relationship, more than likely she didn't have one. Her father probably wasn't in her life. Or if he was probably in and out of her life with no consistency. See, this is how a lot of our daughters will end up on the pole, because there's no consistency in the father-daughter relationship. My book, Daddy's Girls, I talk about this. I explain this. It's available at Amazon.com. Feel free to purchase it. My book and my videos, my live streams, are complementary of each other, fathers of daughters. So I go a lot deeper. There's not another YouTube channel on YouTube that's doing what I'm doing, fathers of daughters. I've searched high and low. Yes, there are other YouTube channels that address the father-daughter relationship, but they're younger. They're all under 10, and they're younger. I address birth to 18 years of age, but my main focus is primarily teenage girls, young preteen girls. That's the bulk of my live streams. Now, when we talk about validation, fathers, hey, let's talk about social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram. What are our daughters comparing themselves to? See, this is why I have a huge problem with so many parents exploiting their kids on TikTok and Instagram and sharing all this family stuff. Because I believe what we're teaching a lot of our daughters is it's perfectly okay to become comfortable with strangers, because validation goes deep. When you need validation from strangers, that's a problem. That's a problem, fathers of daughters, when our daughters need validation from strangers, men they don't even know. That's a problem. And that falls on us. So we have to be very careful what we're exposing our daughters to. Social media is here to stay. So we have to figure out a way to show our daughters the other side, and that's through communication and consistency. And we have to validate our daughters. We have to validate them daily. We do. I had to. Okay, fathers. This next video is about 24 minutes long. It's a great video. It's going to be talking and showing you a pimp and a prostitute. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. And I just feel it needs to be shared. So let me get it set up, fathers.
All right.
Okay, fathers, video number 4.
All right, Kenny and Martina. So I've interviewed you guys separately, but never together. Yeah. So how did you guys meet? When did you meet?
Martina, when was that? What year was that? About probably back
in the late 80s.
Yeah, that's when I met Martina. But when you got with me back in 90,
89.
No, 89, 90. Yeah.
That's when I remember when I was in Hawaii.
Yeah.
You had me.
But before that,
You had me before then also, but that was 89 when I got kicked off the island.
I got Martina. I was in San Francisco. I just got back from the East Coast. And I was on the track, sharp as a tack. And I seen Martina, I pulled up, I said, God damn, bitch, you fine. You know what I'm saying? I got the car, was sweating that bitch. She went and took care of business. After that, she jumped in the car and we rode off like a thief in the night.
Yes. And I've been with him ever since.
Ever since?
Yeah, but me and Kenny hasn't been together for years, but we have a mutual respect for each other. I'm always gonna love Kenny, But back then I was just in love. love, was just down for Kenny Red's pimping and just cross country with it, you know, just having fun. When ism was just great, you know, when it was rules to this game, you know.
Martina's a Gemini, so it's like was dealing with two Martinas, you know what I'm saying? But she went to work, handled her business at every time. I mean, you know, everybody relationship as far as the game, it don't be just one-on-one. It's ups and downs. People tell the good part, but you never tell the bad part. You see what I'm saying? So I mean, our shit was just like everybody else. Our shit just lasted longer than a bunch of other people and everything, you know. But I'm just glad at the end of the day, we know we still cool and everything. She do her thing, I do mine. She stay in touch, I stay in touch. You know what I'm saying? Other females that I have, they stay in touch, I stay in touch, and we keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? We living, you know.
There's a romantic element to these relationships, right?
Yeah.
It's not purely business. Sometimes it's
I wouldn't be in love. I wouldn't just about somebody breaking on me, you know. But Kenny is a romantic person. People don't know that. But you have to give him some money first. You don't get all that goodness from Kenny just meeting him and, you know, interviewing with him and being around him. You have to give Kenny some money, and you're going to see the softer side of Sears.
Yeah, I always knew that, you know, in the game, you know, we all had our ups and downs and bumps and going over the bumps and the humps and all that kind of stuff, trying to get your pimping straight and everything. You know what I'm saying? That's why so many females that I have, they still stay in contact, because I just didn't do them right dirty like when the bitch left me. You know what I'm saying? Here, bitch, take this shit with you too. I'm not no storage. I'm not keeping it. Martina left before. That bitch, I got that bitch apartment across the street from the beach in Alameda. That bitch left and everything. I gave that bitch furniture away. I said, I'm not no storage company, bitch. I'm a pimp. You know what I'm saying? So shit, I gave that shit away, shit, and got rid of shit. Bitch, you come back, bitch, you got to start all over. It ain't on me,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, you know, shit, the time, you know, and you know, the times have changed though, Martina, a whole lot, man. The game is nothing like it used to be, man. You know what I'm saying?
And that's pros and cons, because it's a good thing too. Like these girls, they have all these different avenues of getting money, different ways, you know. And me, I had to hit the street. I was a street stomper. So it wasn't easy. Like these girls could be bartenders. They get money like hoes. They get tip and bottle service. You see them girls out there naked today at the pool. You know what I'm saying? They were getting money like strippers. Oh my God, strippers are making money galore. Like they don't even got to have sex. They shaking it. They getting it.
Getting it. Yeah.
They getting to the money. Like, and I'm proud of them. I'm glad, like I said, I handed this game to these girls on a platter, and they get into it. But on the other side, the game is messed up as far as, you know, people using the word pimp so loosely and using the word hoe so loosely, because
the word pimp is like wearing a fucking pair of jeans. Now everything is pimp this, oh, they look pimpy, pimp this, pimp that. The word pimp used to have respect, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now, you know, they people done took it out of the contents, you know what I'm saying? The pimping don't have no respect no more, you know what I'm saying? Pimps used to dress up like entertainers and the whole 9 yards and everything, but now you don't know what a pimp look like. Back in the days, you used to know what a pimp looked like. Now that you don't know what a pimp look like, you know?
Pimps are some of the most hated members of society now.
Man, for real. You know what I'm saying?
It's a dirty word to society.
Yeah.
But they don't know that we're people too. We're people. It's a secret society.
Well,
you know,
Martina, you'd probably be a great person to answer this question. Like, not all pimps are just evil guys that are gonna, you know, they're not all gorilla pimps that are gonna get a girl high on something and get her addicted. And
no, they have CEO pimps. They got finesse pimps. They got gorilla pimps. They got Mexican pimps.
Well, why would a young lady hook up with somebody like Kenny and give him all the money?
Because I'm a bad motherfucker.
Because he a CEO pimp with a little bit of gorilla with it. You know what I mean? But not as much now. Kenny has calmed down a lot. But one thing about Kenny,
no, hold on.
Kenny's good management.
But hold on. I used to be detrimental on the bitch. I put my foot in the bitch ass. I wouldn't give a fuck wherever was going down or whatever, I was kicking a bitch in the ass. So when you disrespect me or disrespect my pimp, I was putting my foot down on the bitch ass. But nowadays and everything, this before OJ fucked everything up.
Right.
But now this day and age, before I put my hands on the female, I'd rather for her to go ahead on, get the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? Don't waste my time. I ain't gonna waste yours. You see what I'm saying?
But I didn't get beat up like that, Kenny. I can name on one hand how many
No,
times you got me.
no. But I'm not just talking about you because you wasn't the only bitch that I had. You know what I'm saying? I had 4 or 5 other bitches when I had Martina. You see what I'm saying? Martina just was outlasting the other females that I have had and all that kind of stuff and everything. But as a family and all that kind of stuff, when I did, I had to, put the gorilla, the goon hand down, whatever they want to call it and everything. Motherfuckers know I wasn't playing. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, everything worked out. Bitch never called the police on me about putting my hands on the bitch and all that kind of shit because the bitch know that she was wrong. Nowadays, these bitches is okay for. A lot of these bitches got their phone on 911. Just hit the button. You know what I'm saying?
Speed down.
This nigga put his hands on me. Motherfucker going to jail or whatever. Or the police, they gonna take it out the content. That's just like if a pimp would have been in the Oscar award, went up there and slapped the shit out of Chris Rock or something, we would have been in jail. Look at this, but shit, you know what I'm saying? The laws is made up for who they want to make them up for.
Just like that pimp slapped that Catholic church. that priest, remember?
Yeah.
And he in trouble. I ain't heard nothing.
Yeah.
They probably didn't threw away the key.
Yeah.
But I'm not a bitter bitch. I'm a happy hooker.
And that's what you want.
And I'm not bitter. I love this ism, And it was one time, I've got tired of it. I got tired of, getting pimped on, and I have my own escort service. But that don't make me hate the pimping, because guess what? The first man I ever looked up to was my 2 pimp brothers that were pimps. So I love pimps. I love this ism. This ism is in me, not on me. You know what I'm saying? And that's real life.
But
I was exposed to it.
The time you spent with Kenny, how did it change your life?
Kenny changed my life. He showed me how to manage things. Kenny gave me a lot of intelligence on
This was she was my bitch, Mark. You know what I'm saying? And Mark, I ain't never wanted no robot, silly ass bitch any motherfucking way. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like them kind of motherfuckers. One time I had two bitches I had sent to Arizona, and my partner was like, "Damn, Kerry, if you went to Arizona and walked across on the other side of the street with pimping up them bitches, they wouldn't even know that who you was, because if you didn't have them hoes on automatic and everything." You know what I'm saying? And I had one bitch that gave me $500 a day. You know what I'm saying? We called her 500. You know what I'm saying? But she was cool and everything. But Mark, I always taught a female of mine, to want something. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to be in the game and talk about what they used to do and what they used to have, and they don't have shit out the game. That's just like somebody working. You don't want to work, and at the end of the day, you ain't got shit but a fucking pension check. You see what I'm saying? And that's it. That's all. And I tell people right now, you know what I'm saying? All work and no play. That's not it. You know what I'm saying? It don't go like that.
Like when I used to have wife-in-laws, I used to put it into 5th gear. That's when I really extra work harder, because I want to show them an example.
I talked to one of your ex-wife-in-laws earlier today. She said, "Karen, I'm gonna send you." I said, "She said, I'm gonna send you a few dollars for your birthday." I say, "I appreciate that." You know what I'm saying? I say, "That's just a part of the money that you sending me from you was short when you was coming to my house." And then me and her was on the phone laughing. You know what I'm saying? But I always feel like, it's always cool, to have, females that you have had, you able to talk to them and not be salty. You know what I'm saying? So One thing you don't want no angry, salty bitch. At the end of the day, you see what I'm saying? Bitches call you, trying to extort you. Oh, well, if you don't give me such and such, if you don't give me $20,000, I'm gonna call the police. Bitch, you ain't gave me nothing but $2,000. Now you want to give me a case and all that kind of shit. See, this is the kind of things that they do, and it's not fair, because the people the police, they go for that shit, and then make it harder on the man. You see what I'm saying? That's just like, I got some friends want to come sit and talk to me about what they used to do. All that's, it's cool and fine and dandy and everything, but guess what though? What's going on now? You know what I'm saying? Because the average nigga, the average pimp, they only got like 20, 25 years, and that's it, and it's over. You see what I'm saying? It's over. But at the end of the day, you still want to have your respect that you had when you was in the game. See, right now I got friends, they work, they do all kind of stuff, but guess what though? I still love them. I don't care what they do and everything, because guess what? We still here, we still living, and I love them. You know what I'm saying? And I hope they feel the same way about me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like that I'm better than them because about things that I do and everything. I feel, guess what? We still on equal scale. You see what I'm saying? But my career just lasted because my job description remains the same. And that's for real.
That's why I love Kenny. He's the straightest shooter there is.
Kenny will give you the brutal truth. He is not a pretty little liar, even though he's very handsome. But
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Kenny's a very reasonable man.
Yes, he is. And that's why I stayed with him and loved him, because he always took care of business. I didn't have to do nothing but go get money. Everything was laid out. He used to buy my clothes. You know, I can go shopping too, but you know, just he might see something he like and might want to see me in it, and it'll be laid across the bed. You know, Kenny takes care of business. Like, bills are going to be paid 3 and 4 months in advance. Like, you getting a lot of money, your bills going to be paid a year in advance. You know, Kenny don't like to no bills to catch up on. It's like he pays bills.
Yeah.
Some people do not like to pay bills, but Kenny always was a bill payer. Always kept our records cool. If we had warrants or anybody, if a new bitch even came in our family and was getting money, I didn't see him straighten up a whole whole life. You know what I'm saying? She had so many warrants from the last folks she had. He didn't just never took her to court, and she was just cased up. And Kenny changed her whole life, got her license. You know
who taught me how to handle my business and everything was Gangsta Brown. I watched
Gangsta Brown take care of business.
I watched Gangsta do his credit and everything. I followed his lead. I remember when we got in the game and when I got in the game and everything, shit, I mean, we didn't have no ID. Me, Gangsta, my other partners and everything, we didn't even have no identification. And so Gangsta was like, where y'all come? Oh, we just came from DMV. This back in 1980. You know what I'm saying? 80, 81. We just came from DMV. We riding Cadillacs and limousines and everything. Ain't nobody got no damn driver license, no identification, and no nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I watched Brown transition to do everything. So by me being the youngster up under him, you know what I'm saying? So I learned, you see what I'm saying?
His student.
His student. And I just kept pushing forward though. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, I come from the Gangsta Brown Filmo Slim family, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I'm still here, but I'm Gangsta, the best student that Gangsta Brown ever fucking had. He'll tell you that, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I remember Filmo told us one time, we was at the Hollywood Vine, told me and International Blue and Charlie Cladd, yeah, y'all pimps, but our pimp circles around you youngsters. I'm a motherfucking Mac. Filmo said he been having hoes before when they had horses and carriages out, and I believe the old man, you know what I'm saying?
Gotta pay homage.
Yeah.
You gotta pay homage, and that's what be wrong with these youngsters. We need to make ism great again.
I done had a few. I done had a bunch of. Matter of fact, I had a bunch of my folks call me, be like, "Is Martina still in the game?" I say, "Shit, call her, ask her. That bitch will tell you if she'll still go or what she'll do and everything." I say, but when they be talking about retirement and all that kind of stuff, so motherfuckers be talking about they retired, this and everything. Okay, well, shit, if a bitch come offer me $100,000, do I supposed to take it? Or I supposed to be like, oh no, I retired. You know what I'm saying? I don't accept that no more. Come on, man, please. That's the same way, just like with ex-lady of leisure. You see what I'm saying? I'm old, she old, but actually, if a motherfucker came and offered her $10,000, $100,000, so I said, well, she take it. Martina, do they got the opportunity to ask you now?
Sock it to a bitch pocket.
Okay.
Okay,
like
first.
Rocket?
Okay, look, check this out. I don't care how old I get. I'm never fucking for free. I never, quote me on that.
Yeah.
Quote me on that. Even if you give me a stipend every month and come fuck me 4 times a month, check this out. SugarDaddy.com still be popping for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a sugar baby and I'm 55 years old.
Yeah, and today my birthday. I just turned 61 years old. You know what I'm saying?
God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you to have many more.
Yeah. We on our way to the party, the players bar. Everybody was invited. You know what I'm saying? That's just like Martina. People be like, "Is Martina still with you?" Martina ain't been with me about how long? About 25, 26 years or something like that. Martina ain't gave me no money. The last time when she gave it, about 25, 26 years, we ain't fuck. We don't do none of that. We just cool. You see what I'm saying? And that's it. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? She got my back. I got her back. I appreciate what she done for me. You see what I'm saying? She went out there and made sure I was straight, made sure my bills were straight, made sure she was straight. My nephews in there, she been there, when I had tragedies in the family and all that, you know what I'm saying? And that'll go along. I'm not going to.
And you have been there for me.
Yeah.
With my tragedy, with my pimp brother Rico died.
Yeah, I'm not going to disclude any other female that I have had and everything because they was there too, you know what I'm saying? And we all done had, like I said, we all done had our ups and downs, but you know what I'm saying? I appreciate the things that the females have done for me. And like I say, like I told you before, Mark, if there's anything that I could do for a female that I have ever had and they need something, I got it, you could get it, Mark. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? I mean, 'cause, hey, I can't take it with me. You know what I'm saying? That's just like with me sharing the game with the youngsters and everything. I share the game with them because I share it right. You see what I'm saying? So, motherfucker, you won't be in trouble. You know what I'm saying? And everything. But if you don't want to listen, that's on you, not me. You can't say that. Oh, well, K-Red, he Hollywood. No, I tell you, I'm Hollywood, but I'm really Hollywood, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that's where I come from.
Right.
You know? Yeah, believe that. You know, so if a female wanted to come fool with me, guess what? If you don't like what come out of my mouth and you don't want it right then, this shit, don't fuck with me because I'm not going to tell you no lie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep it 100 with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm old, but guess what? I still got it, though.
But you find like wine, like when wine gets better with time.
Oh, yeah.
Like me. You know what I'm saying?
You guys, yeah.
That's why I'm a happy hooker, and that's why I don't have wrinkles. That's why
Martina, you a happy hooker?
I'm a happy hooker. You know? And I just love to love. I love this ism. And I'm trying to leave breadcrumbs for these young girls to follow and not make the mistakes that I made. I want them to get all the money. And I'm proud of them having all these avenues to get the money that they getting, man. If I had 20 years backwards, man, I'll be doing everything. I would never get no sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, I would never get no sleep. It's just so many ways to get money. And I just love to see them get it, you know?
You want me to tell you the key to the game, though? For real, for real?
What's that?
And I hope everybody listening, paying attention when they see this interview. The key to the game is health, is your wealth. It's about living. When the people see this interview, we're gonna have critics. They're gonna have they had a thumbs up, the thumbs down. But remember one thing: at 61, I'm 61 today. Martina, 55.
I'm 55. I'm never telling my age.
She's 55 and everything. But guess what, though? Remember one thing. They have to do this. You see what I'm saying? They have to get here to be able to talk about what they have done and still look like this. I was just in the gym not too long ago. I left 405 on the bench for my sons and them. Told them, when y'all turn 60 years old, make sure you be able to pick up them same 4 wheels that I did, that 405 on the bench. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
I don't be trying to hear that shit.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
when you get to different levels, it's new devils. And a wise man, matter of fact, it was Magic Don Juan that told me, accept the love, ignore the hate. And I've been using that mantra and it's been helping me. I don't even look at bad comments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ignore I accept the love and I ignore the hate. And that's what Bishop Don Juan told me. And I take that to my grave.
Hey, that's just like with you, Mark. You didn't interview us. I just seen on the comment, Mark want to be a pimp and everything. Mark ain't trying to be no pimp. Mark just enjoy. Mark, I know,
Mark got a PhD in this now.
Well, Mark, I know you just enjoy.
I'm no pimp.
Yeah, I know you're not no pimp, Mark, and you ain't trying to be one. I know that you just enjoy, people's lifestyle and interview, and you just put it out there. You see what I'm saying? See, people really don't know that, you know what I'm saying, that you don't even have to do this. You see what I'm saying? You got all your own shit and everything, you know what I'm saying? And I know that you're a good dude because if you wouldn't, I wouldn't be sitting right here. You know what I'm saying?
But you do enjoy this journalism of this ism.
I love it.
Yeah.
That journalism of this ism.
All the characters that are hanging out today.
Yes.
Mark is like one of them 90210 white boys on the beach. You know, cause that's how he dress all the time.
But he got a PhD though in this because he's getting so much knowledge and education, and you're sitting here like learning with these people, with us.
I'm learning from the best too. I'm getting education from
the best. You're getting it from the horse's mouth.
The Bishop, Sharp, all these the best of the best.
Yeah, see, that's just like, you know what I'm saying, more like I say, back to the game and everything. Martina, I just want to tell you on camera, I appreciate you and appreciate everything that you done for me and everything, you know what I'm saying? And, we're going to be friends to the end and everything, you know what I'm saying? And, you got the job done, you know what I'm saying? I give you 2 thumbs up. I appreciate you, you know what
Let's get this money though. Let's get this money. We need a movie. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be better than Ike and Tina Turner.
Well, that's like Mike Epps. That's my friend. Mike already told me, K-Red, your life was interesting. He said, I'm going to play your part. Whenever they get there writing and everything, I got a few people that's writing a few things and everything, but I really don't talk about it or nothing. You know me, I move better on action than words. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to talk about this and talk about that because I have had friends that go talk about this, who playing this and who doing it, and nothing ever come out of it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm, if the Lord will, and if it's meant for me to have, I have it. If not, then hey, I appreciate, you know what I'm saying, my fans, the people that love me, the people that that's been behind me, you know what I'm saying? Even the haters, you know what I'm saying? Because I know there'll be a few haters, they'll be calling and on my Instagram, on my IG, my Facebook. But I never understood why the haters, if people don't like what you say or what you do, Why do you even get on there? Why don't you just delete your own self? See, I never understood it. Delete your own. You know what I'm saying, Martina?
Right.
Delete your own self. You
Because
know
they're
what I'm saying?
miserable.
Yeah, you
And
know
they're
what I'm saying?
trollers, and that's their job.
Yeah,
They're haters.
you don't have to make no comment or no nothing. Keep the comment to yourself and just delete yourself off my page. That's all you got to do.
And that's where
I'm
it goes
not
back
bothering
to.
you. I'm not asking you for nothing. I don't even know you. You
That's
know what
what
I'm
it
saying?
goes back to. Accept the love, ignore the hate.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm trying to do, Mark? I want to be on Power. I wish 50 Cent see me so I could be Mary J. Blige's big sister so we can kill Lorenzo. You know what I mean? Put me in a sequence. Get me in somewhere. You know what I mean? I got this big personality and I just want to show the world, you know, and I just want to share my life with all the ladies that have been through everything I'm going through, but they can't say it. You know, I'm speaking for a lot of women out there in the world.
Yeah, there's a lot of females. They love you, Martina.
And I love them back. I love all y'all back. Hustle Mom, love y'all, man. And I'm just leaving breadcrumbs and just letting you guys see all the content, all my life. I just want you guys to make my life a movie so you guys can be captivated. And that would make my day. If I died tomorrow and just letting my life and, you know, showing my life story to people, I'd be happy. I'll be happy. I'll be with the ancestors happy.
You know, one thing, Marty, I would ask you, if I could turn back the hands of time, would I do it again? Would I send Martina out the door? You goddamn right. One more time for the record.
All right. Martina and Kenny, thank you so much for coming back.
Okay, well, Mark, they've been waiting to see this, what's going on. I hope we answered your questions properly and everything.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? What you guys want to know and everything. But, you know, hey, we send our love out to you and appreciate you guys.
Right. And we love this ism. Ism is for life. Ism is a culture and it's a vernacular. And we love it.
Awesome.
Okay, you got us?
Thanks, you guys.
All right.
Okay, fathers. Soft white underbelly. Let me tell you, this man has excellent content. Amazing. He's interviewed everybody. I would suggest you go to Soft White Underbelly and subscribe to him. It's in the description. Amazing videos. Amazing. I learned something from all the videos I've already watched on Soft White Underbelly. They're amazing. So, well, fathers, I'm going to press you. Validation of our daughters, because this is the world and this is what's waiting for them. I felt this video was necessary and important so you could see the other side, fathers. Our sense of urgency. We have such a sense of urgency, fathers. Birth to 18. It is critical because the world's waiting for them. All right, fathers, I have one more video, and then we're going to wrap up this live stream. Okay, this next video, it's about 25 minutes long as well. It's been a great live stream today. It really, really has. And I appreciate the fathers that are still hanging in there and participating, okay? And those who had to leave and do your thing, but you could always look at the live stream or the video that comes next with the replay. All right, fathers, let me get it set up.
Texas.
Okay, fathers, this last video is talking about children for sale out of the state of Texas, trafficking, sex trafficking. Great, excellent video, fathers. This video I definitely needed to share as well.
We're in Houston, Texas.
Hi, nice to meet you guys.
About to venture into one of the most notorious areas for child sex trafficking in the United States.
My daughter has a price tag on her. Child.
It's quite early and you've already heard gunshots. 7 to 8 rounds of gunshots.
We meet those who've survived this nightmare.
I was like, oh my God, like I was trafficked.
The pimps who've profited from selling women.
You were getting a cut of the money.
All the money.
All the money.
And those risking their lives to recover young girls from the grip of exploitation.
You see it firsthand, you know? She's just a baby.
Houston on a Thursday night. We're in a parking lot where a private security team is assembling.
Hi, nice to meet you guys. Wow, this is a team.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to accompany a group doing outreach work speaking to trafficked girls. One of them is Robin Corey, whose daughter Kristen was trafficked and remains missing today. Private investigator Betty Simons has been helping her on her search.
And you always go out rolling this deep?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I mean, we're in Houston.
Betty has recovered 45 underage girls from sex trafficking. It's dangerous work.
What should we expect out there?
You just don't know what's going to happen. They're stepping into their territory, you know, so we all are taking a risk by being out here. But it's what we do, right? So.
From cars, the security team will monitor Robin and the group doing outreach. Most are ex-army turned professional bounty hunters who make their money catching fugitives and do this child recovery work pro bono.
So what's that gun?
It's AR-15.
Is that an AR-15 as well?
It is.
Why'd you choose an AR-15?
Holds a lot of rounds.
Okay. So if the traffickers do start shooting, what will you guys do? What's the plan?
We're going to take cover, call 911, and defend our position.
As in shoot back.
Absolutely.
To see these guys kitting up, carrying this much protection, bulletproof vests, arms, just to go out to Bissonnette Street, it really just makes you think how vulnerable these women and underage girls are right now.
We set off for Bissonnette Street, a hot spot for sexual exploitation. As we approach, we see a row of cars stopping to pick up girls. Many of them look well under the age of consent.
You could see 2, 3, 4, 5 girls.
In recent years, at least 80,000 children and young people have been forced into sex trafficking in Texas. The average age a girl begins being sold is just 15. Houston has more cases than any other city in the whole of the United States. Bissonnette Street is ground zero.
My daughter has a price tag on her. Child.
Robin's daughter Kristen was just 15 when she was being sold on this street.
I was just simply going out there to look for my daughter, but soon realized we had a problem.
Houston, like all major cities, has sex workers who are working for themselves. But that's not what Bissonnette Street is known for. This is where vulnerable girls are forced into prostitution, as their sex traffickers, more commonly known as pimps, circle the block.
Can you imagine a 15-year-old being a prostitute? You can't consent.
We decide to film from the car while I join Robin and the outreach team to gauge the temperature.
You need condoms, booty wipes, Red Bull? Red Bull?
The atmosphere tonight is tense.
It's quite early and you've already heard gunshots. 7 to 8 rounds of gunshots. We asked the girls if they were okay and they said they turned the corner after they heard.
Thank you, guys. You're welcome. Y'all be safe.
two of the girls came over and sat down for a bit, and one of them told us that one of the girls got slapped. It's shocking. It's worse than I could have even imagined. It's this constant rotation of girls. A lot of them look really young. Some of them look 15, 16 at a push. We start to draw attention after talking to the girls. So we leave and catch up with Betty in a nearby diner. How was it tonight?
It was normal for me. You saw for yourself how many young girls are out there. These are children that are out there. These are trafficking victims that are being abused. You saw them crying. So this isn't a happy place. It's a very dark place. Our work is never done. When you get one trafficker locked up, it's replaced by 5 more. When you get one child off the street, all they're doing is looking for another one to replace that income source.
For Betty, this is personal. Her sister was sex trafficked at 14 and then years later murdered.
For me, it keeps my sister alive. So as we continue to do the work and as we continue the fight, for me, it's keeping a piece of her alive. So that even though she's not here, like they couldn't kill her. They couldn't take her away.
Sex trafficking, illegally transporting people from one area to another for the purpose of sexual exploitation, is a form of modern-day slavery. While inherently violent, not all methods are the same. At a cafe which raises funds for survivors of sex trafficking, I meet with Kathy and Dominique, who were both exploited at a young age. They are now mentors for girls who've been similarly entrapped.
It first starts with, befriending someone, right? I'm your friend and, trust me. And then the next phase after that is alienation.
Kathy's trafficker was a man she thought was her boyfriend. He used a tactic known as the Romeo method.
For years, I just called it an abusive relationship. I hid and silenced like the whole prostitution part because I was so ashamed. Like I took all of the blame. Like, how could I let him talk me into doing that? I didn't understand what trafficking was until I finally, started embracing what had happened to me, this bad relationship. That's when I really figured out what trafficking was. I was like, oh my God, like I was trafficked. This is crazy. There's a name to it.
A 17-year-old Dominique was abducted by what is known as a gorilla pimp. After accepting a job in a strip club to support her young son, he wouldn't let her leave.
And he says, I'm going to tell you like this. If you try to leave, you will be killed before you reach Atlantic City. You will never see your son again, and I will spread your body parts everywhere. Just listen to what I have to say. And he began to give me the code. And
what do you mean by the code? Is that something that's common?
Yes, it's like the street code, where he begins to tell me what I am required to do from now on, that my personal identity is no longer me. That's no longer exists. Like, you're a hoe now and you belong to me. And I'm 17 years old and I'm really like losing my mind. And that's what he wanted. That's what he wanted, control over me.
Power and control are the currency of this economy, but breaking free is possible.
How are you? I'm doing good.
Betty takes us to meet one of the girls she's helped recover. Cam is now 19, but was trafficked when she was much younger. How old were you the first time you went to Bissonnette Street and worked on Bissonnette Street?
14.
What was the first time like?
It was scary because it was the first time, but I wasn't by myself. I had other girls to tell me what to do. So.
What were the ages of the other girls?
Some were around my age and some were older.
Okay, so there were other 14-year-olds?
Yeah.
Cam managed to get away, but a few years later, after having issues with her family, she was once again being sold for sex and in the clutches of a violent man.
After he choked me out and stuff, I tried to leave, but it was like, it started getting physical to the point he was like, if you leave, I'll kill you. Then he always had guns on him, so I was scared. So it's like, I was too scared and too afraid to either try to leave. So yeah.
And he tried to choke you out.
Well, he did. It wasn't trying.
Cam is now free from her trafficker, who is in prison facing multiple charges. She's expecting a child from a new relationship.
When I found out I was having a daughter, I cried because it was like everything I've been through. I was like, I hope I want my daughter to never go through that. So it was like with my daughter, I feel like I'll be way overprotective because the stuff that I've been through.
So who are the traffickers? We've secured rare access to a man who is part of that world. Recently released from prison in North Texas, Edhem was initially indicted on child sex trafficking charges, which were dropped, and later convicted of advertising women online.
What were their ages usually?
They're usually going to be young, but not 16 or nothing like that. Well, for me, maybe like 20, 21. You know, you want them relatively like, you know, you want what the customers want.
So you're working with girls, they were going out, they were getting paid for sex from buyers, and then you were getting a cut of the money?
All the money.
All the money. So what did they get out of it?
I mean, they got wherever they wanted. Like if they wanted their nails done, they got their nails done. If they wanted to send money to their family, then that happened too. You know what I'm saying?
But she has to go through you to get that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And do you think that that's okay?
I mean, she might be a bad money handler. She might make $1,000 a day, but all off. You know what I'm saying?
Edhem has served 5 years in jail for his involvement in the trade, but his lack of remorse is staggering.
For me, pimp stands for a player into making progress. So like whatever I'm doing, I'm trying to progress and get what I need. I'm going to pimp this situation. I'm going to work it to my favor. You get what I'm saying? So you can pimp. Anybody can be a pimp. You know what I'm saying? So women can be a pimp.
So then how do you feel when the word sex trafficker is used?
I hate that word traffic. It's just, I don't know, ever since the first time I read it on a paper, it just seems so like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't like that word. This is the oldest profession that's been going around. Prostitution's been going around since the early days, you know what I'm saying? So,
But there's a difference, right, between sex workers who work for themselves and are making a choice, and women and girls who are being exploited by
and you're right about
men,
that. Yeah.
Groups of men who are taking their money when they do perform their sex. Do you see the difference?
Yeah, it's two different sides. Yeah, it's like two different ends. You know what I'm saying? But no, I totally agree with you. Like that's not sex working. You know what I'm saying? Like that's trafficking. That's, you know, all that other stuff. Like that's a whole nother ball game.
How do young girls end up in the grip of traffickers? Back in Houston, we meet up again with Robin at her daughter Kristen's favorite pizza place. She tells us how Kristen's behavior slowly began to change.
Well, Kristen turned 15. You know, she had her good friends and, you know, friends we knew. She started hanging around with some new people. And that's when she began the runaway thing. I thought it was just typical teenage behavior. But then she just started acting different. So it was like a process.
Robin didn't realize that Kristen was being actively groomed. She ran away, and that's when Houston police picked her up on Bissonnette Street.
The detectives were talking with us, and clearly she had been sex trafficked. And so I needed to get her away from Houston.
Robin arranged for Kristen to stay at her grandmother's house without her phone.
And we're kind of making some headway in family counseling, trauma counseling, psychiatrist appointments. And so we thought maybe, okay, it's time to have a phone.
What happened?
She was gone within the next 2 days.
Until Kristen is found, her case will remain open.
It's been over 2 years since Kristen went missing for a second time. The FBI is now investigating the case, but Betty is still working on it.
There's never going to be a time that we don't look for Kristen or that we stop, because there's still a chance. And there will always be a chance until we find her.
How long is it usually before you start to be concerned that the girls have been killed?
In a 90-day span, I start to worry, because these children are products, right? They're selling them to make money. And so therefore they have to advertise them. And so if the child is not being advertised or sold, then you can't help but start to wonder what happened to them.
Oh, she looks like a kid.
Yeah. She very likely is a kid.
Kristen is only one of the trafficked girls Betty is looking for. In trying to find them, she cross-references ads on escort websites with the National Index for Missing Children.
She looks like her. A little bit.
This one?
Yeah.
She really does, actually. So what we're looking for here is you see the marks. She has some birthmarks on her. Jesus Christ. See?
She's currently looking for a 15-year-old who keeps running back to her trafficker.
She probably believes this is her boyfriend and that he loves her. This is a child that has grown up in the system. And so that's probably the only love. It's false love, but the only love that she's known.
The whole sordid industry does not work without the men who pay for sex, the buyers. To tackle sex trafficking, Texas has become the first state in the U.S. to make buying sex a felony, punishable by at least 6 months in jail.
When we work with buyers, we try to lead with some vulnerability and empathy on how they ended up there, but accountability is never optional. You got to own it.
Joe Madison works to rehabilitate buyers through his nonprofit, Demand Disruption.
There is no more direct way to fight human trafficking than to stop demand, because you stop one buyer, you stop at least one purchase, but usually upwards of 5 to 6 to 7.
He's taking us to meet one who is part of his program and has agreed to be interviewed on the condition of anonymity.
How frequently were you buying sex at the time?
Like about twice a week.
And how would you usually meet up with them?
Usually it was online. Every once in a while there was a woman that I saw walking down the street, but the quality wasn't as nice as the women online.
Are you aware that there are a lot of underage girls online?
Yes. Yes, and I always try to avoid that.
What would you do to avoid that?
Ask their age.
Would they present evidence of their age?
Certain times they did, but I tried to find women that looked older.
How did it make you feel to know that a lot of these women and underage girls are brutalized on a daily basis?
It made me feel bad that I was one of the contributors to that. I asked the Lord for forgiveness, but I'm gonna have to answer to that on Judgment Day.
Whether the buyers always know it or not, the fact is that a lot of the girls for sale are underage, and a majority of them have contact with social services. But even facilities set up to protect them can't always keep them off the streets. Since 2018, 573 suspected child sex trafficking victims have received services from this state-run center.
Staff has to have a key card to get in so the kids are protected.
And some of them have walked out of the doors and straight into the hands of their traffickers.
Most of the time, the traffickers have talked to them about a plan in case you come in, contact with the authorities, and if you run away, this is how you contact me.
Is there anything you can do here to stop kids from being re-trafficked?
Well, we can't stop them from running away. There are facilities where a child may go, like a jail or a psychiatric hospital, where they can't run from there. But it's only a temporary solution. And we don't want to lock kids up who are victims. It's like the way we used to think about domestic violence. Why doesn't she leave him? He's beating her. Well, a lot of these kids are in a domestic violence situation with their trafficker.
One of those who's run away from this facility and back to her trafficker is the 15-year-old that Betty is looking for. She can't find any ads of the girl online, so she's reverting to some tried and tested investigative methods.
There's a black case. Do you mind handing it to me? Sometimes you gotta bring out the trusty binoculars. Because if she comes here, I'll be able to see her for sure.
We drive down the track with Betty, hoping to spot her.
There's a girl here on the right as well.
I don't know. That one right there looked a lot like her.
Yeah.
Betty calls a colleague to alert them.
Okay, I think she's on Bissonnet right now. But her hair's not blonde now, it's dark.
We circle back, but in a flash,
she's gone.
Yeah, she's picked up. These are the buyers that are saying, oh no, I go for the older girls. That was a 15-year-old. But it's tough, because you see it firsthand, she's just a baby.
And just the thought of her, just seeing how young she looks, being with a man who is buying sex, soliciting her, is just really upsetting.
Hey, she got picked up, so I gotta wait for her to come back. What? Really?
Betty hears news that will complicate her efforts to recover the girl.
All right, bye. So she's picked up robbery charges. 15.
So she's now being criminalized.
And now she's going to be criminalized, which is nothing new. We see this, unfortunately, all the time. So now it's like a catch-22. You're going to have her picked up. She's going to go to jail when she's a victim.
If Betty sees her again, then she'll be obliged to call law enforcement. The Houston Police Department has a dedicated human trafficking unit headed up by Sergeant Antonio Gracia.
What are the dangers of victims being criminalized during the recovery process for charges that are outstanding?
It depends. Is it a violation of public safety? Because you do have victims sometimes out there robbing people too, as well, with guns and everything. Even though you might have duress, it's still a violent crime. So that, but there are some issues that if during our operations, if we recover somebody and they're a confirmed victim, usually they're going to not get charges, especially if they're under 18.
So this was a case of a 15-year-old African-American girl. She had been picked up, recovered before, and then she was back out with her trafficker.
Mm-hmm.
And she's facing robbery charges, and there's an arrest warrant out for her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with a case like that, how do you protect the trust, protect the recovery process?
Okay, but let me ask a question for you. Okay, where was she safer at? At home again, where she could run away again? Or, I hate to say it, but sometimes they got to be, locked up for their own safety, so hopefully get them to stabilize.
We hear from Betty that the 15-year-old has been picked up in Dallas and is now in juvenile detention, safe in the eyes of law enforcement. But the challenge now is to break the cycle of exploitation that keeps her tied to her trafficker. The challenge for Robin remains the same: finding her daughter.
It's 2.5 years looking for your daughter. How are you coping with the stress?
I've got to be strong for my other two kids, and I've got to show them strength and hope, because my son thinks she's the D word.
The D word. You think she's died?
Yes.
And has that possibility of her not being alive, has that crossed your mind?
Of course. Of course. I mean, what hasn't crossed my mind? My daughter's being raped and sold. How much more worse can it get?
I'm so sorry.
I promised her I wouldn't let anything happen to her. So in keeping my promise to her, I gotta continue my search.
Okay, fathers. That was the last video. And that video needed to be shared because fathers need to understand our sense of urgency once again. Fathers of daughters, girl dads, we have a fatherless epidemic in the United States of America, regardless of your ethnic group, background, and or culture. We have a fatherless epidemic. And these are the results of fatherlessness. These young women, where are their fathers at? I always ask the question, where are their fathers at? So unless their fathers are dead, where are their fathers at? Got to ask these questions because this is what happens to a lot of young girls. Their fathers are not in their lives, birth to 18 years of age. Where are the fathers at? Where are they? But I get pushback in men's groups. I get pushback from other men who are not being responsible and taking care of their business as dads, as fathers. I get pushback. You don't get to blame the mothers on this one. You don't. Okay, fathers, another successful live stream. Before I go, I say every week, if I receive comments, I will share those comments. I received comments from Daniel. So I want to share Daniel's comments. He sent me 4 comments. And I appreciate the comments from you, Daniel. So I'm going to share them. I will share all comments with my subscribers and with my audience. This is from Daniel. I'm going to show the first comment. So Daniel says, the government is not doing enough to stop this disgusting stuff from happening. Thank you for that comment, Daniel. Second comment Daniel sent. The government can stop most of this from happening. It's clear that they don't want to stop it because they are involved in it also. It's the second comment by Daniel. The third comment by Daniel is, the government has shut the stream down because they are involved in this. Let's see, wait, let me read that again. The government has shut, I believe he meant to say has not shut the stream down because they are involved in this. I believe he meant to say has not shut the stream down because they are involved in it. And then the last comment is, what has happened? So those are 4 great comments from Daniel. I appreciate you, Daniel. I appreciate you for participating in today's live stream. And I appreciate your comments. So all comments that are shared during my live streams, I will definitely share them with my subscribers and my audience. So thank you, Daniel. Okay, fathers. Another live stream. Another live stream. I just want to tell you, I appreciate you. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being available. We have a lot of work in front of us. Birth to 18 years of age. Keeping our daughters off the pole, part 2. I needed to do this, fathers. Our sense of urgency is mandatory. Okay, fathers. This is live stream number 49. Next week would be live stream number 50. I've been live streaming since July of 2023. I'm consistent, putting in that work, fathers, growing organically, feeling great about it. So thank you. Subscribe, like, share. Feel free. Okay, fathers, until next week, appreciate you. Love them babies, kiss them babies, validate them babies. Show them love, give them love. Our boys and our girls. Okay, fathers. Until next week, I appreciate you. This is F from B. Martin. Adios, mi amigos. En aquí. I'm out. I'll holler at you next week. Peace.